Hello, this is the next video in our series of how to build or add on to your apparel decorating business. We talked about in the very beginning that the first place to start is to get a vinyl cutter and a heat press. As your business begins to grow, that you add sublimation. And then as your business continues to grow, we talked about how to begin to get some bulk orders. There's another video in this series about how to do that. But once that happens, then we talked about how to add screen print transfers and super color to your business to begin to fill those bulk orders. Today, we're going to talk about adding contract decorators. As your business continues to grow, eventually you're going to begin to start getting those 150, 200 shirt orders. And even while you can do those with screen print transfers, it's probably going to be cheaper and quicker and a lot less work on your part to begin to add a contract decorator to your business. There are a lot of those out there. You can just search contract screen printers. Almost all of the contract printers will have several services. They almost all will have screen printing and embroidery, and sometimes they have other services. Some of them have DTG, some of them will do tackle twill, and all these other different types of apparel decorating. So if I was you, as my business starts to get off the ground, I begin to research and find me a contract decorator. I put one in the I put one below that we used. Even though, when I sold my business, we had a pretty good sized business. We had a pretty good sized screen printing department and embroidery department. We also did awards, but in the peak seasons, we still used contract decorators sometimes when we had so much work that we just literally could not get it out. And in our business, it was very important for us. We tried to turn every order in a week or less. Every now and again in those peak seasons, we couldn't do that. But if we looked out and we just had more work than we could do in 2 weeks and it was still flowing in, we would send some orders out to contract decorators and have them do it, because to us that was much better than having a customer have to wait 3 weeks or something like that for their order. So the contract decorator is going to require that you have your art ready to go. On the screen printing side, you'll have to send them what some people call camera ready art, even though nobody uses cameras anymore. But it'll have to be exactly as you want it. You can't send them a dirty JPEG, and you're going to have to do all the artwork in advance. Most of these contract decorators have have programs with Sanmar and some of the other huge sellers of merchandise where you can order your garments and not have to worry about shipping to them. Now you'll either have to go pick it up or pay shipping back to you, but you won't have to pay from Sanmar to them. They have programs where they are, bringing in all types of goods every single day, and so you won't have that cost. If you get with the contract decorator, they will have a chart for you, so you know exactly how much you're going to pay, and then you can add on to that, and you're not really having to do anything other than order the garments, and then once they come in, send them the artwork, and then once the order is done, you'll either have to deliver or ship it to your customer. So that's how I would begin to, once I started getting some larger orders, the contract decorator is going to be important. And even though in the beginning we haven't recommended that you add embroidery yet, that goes hand in hand. So you would be able to have embroidery if you get an order that has at least a dozen pieces or so, and still be able to make some money. Obviously, I wouldn't want to fool with if you don't have any embroidery machines. If somebody wants 3 shirts, you can't really, time you ship it and to you and all that type of stuff, you're kind of going to be making money. But you could then begin, once you've got a contract decorator set up, you could then begin to add embroidery services, even though you don't have embroidery machines yet. And you maybe put a minimum, 12-piece minimum or something like that. And then you can also offer embroidery, because many of your customers that are going to want screen printed shirts are also going to want embroidered polos, embroidered hats, embroidered jackets. And you can start adding, if your garment and the embroidery that the contract decorator is going to charge you adds up to, let's say, $20, then you would charge $25 for that polo shirt, and you're making $5 times a dozen shirts. You're making $75, $85. And all you had to do was order it and send the artwork to the decorator. So I think the next step is to get that contract decorator in place, so that when you get that 500 shirt order, maybe you have already got all the ins and outs. You've already talked to them. You know how their system works, and you're ready to get that order to them, and so you can get it to your customer. So that would be my next step as I build my apparel decorating business. In our next video, we'll talk about where I think I would go next once we got this set up and we started to get some larger orders.